$2.9 billion of Ohio tax money went to pay the salaries of state employees just last year.
During a 2 News investigation into the state's 100K Club, or the employees making more than $100,000 a year, we uncovered some making more in overtime than their salaries.
Is it excessive overtime on your dime? Natalie Tendall investigates.
The average family in Ohio makes around $47,000 a year, but I found more than 2,000 state employees are each bringing home more than twice that amount, and some of those top earners made more in overtime than their actual salary. A research staff member, a nurse, and a chaplain. You pay these state salaries and thousands more just like them. They're members of the 100K Club.
This is our money that's going directly into their pockets.
Greg Lawson with the political watchdog group The Buckeye Institute keeps an eye on how many tax dollars go to pay state employees every year.
We have a right as taxpayers to make sure that things make sense.
2 News Investigates obtained the list of pay for every person who works for the state and found the highest paid employee might surprise you. You may think the governor and attorney general would top the list. They're powerful and well known, but they don't even come close to the psychiatrist who made more than $376,000 last year. 2 News Investigates found more than half of that was in overtime pay.
This isn't about, again, beating up on a public employee who's doing their job. They're just doing what they're asked to do. We get all of that. But it's about managing the resource because this isn't the private sector.
Lawson says most employees who work for the state get better benefits than those who work for private companies, so they're expected to make a more modest salary in return. That psychiatrist with the state's biggest paycheck works for the department with some of the highest paid employees in all of Ohio. So we asked the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services why some of their employees are making more in overtime than their salaries. They declined an interview and issued a statement that reads in part, patients benefit from the consistency and continuity of care provided by doctors who follow patient progress beyond a standard 40-hour week. As a result, Ohio MHAS incurs after-hour costs at our hospitals. However, the department manages these fixed costs in the most fiscally responsible way for Ohio's taxpayers. We dug a little deeper to find out what exactly a psychiatrist does to earn more overtime than their salary.
These illnesses are very common. There's many people that suffer with them.
Dr. Mark Smith with Mental Health Services in Springfield says a state psychiatrist's job is not 9 to 5.
If you're in a work for an agency or work for a hospital that hospitalizes people, then there's issues of taking call and being available 24/7.
Lawson says it comes back to the amount of money the state is spending on overtime. And we found it's not just an issue with one department. While the total payroll cost declined in Ohio last year, the amount spent on overtime went up by $6 million.
Public employees do a lot of very good things, but they are public employees. They are completely compensated by taxpayer dollars.
Another reason psychiatrists may be making more overtime is because they're needed. Dr. Smith tells me more people are seeking help for their disorders than ever before. Now, if you're curious to find out what state employees made the 100K Club, we've built a searchable database for you with all that information. Just go to WDTN.com and look for this story under the Investigations tab. Natalie Tendall, 2 News Investigates.